Becky, and today I'm going to be presenting some really great books. I've selected a few different genres because I hope that you'll find something that you like on this table. All of these books are going to have a similar theme in that they are in a high school setting and that there are diverse character representations. The first book I want to talk about was actually recently made into a film, and it is called Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. So in this novel we have two different characters that are main characters. We have Simon and Blue. Simon is your average everyday teenage boy. He is well liked by his peers, he's in the drama club, he performs in the theater, and he has a huge secret that he doesn't want to tell his best friends, Leah, Abby, or Nick. And then we have Blue, who is Simon's online pen pal, and they met up at the school's chat room. And neither one of them really knows the other one's identity, they just know their online persona. And so Simon is emailing Blue one day at school, and he gets up from the school library computer, and another student named Martin logs into the computer, and he realizes that Simon's left all his emails up, and he discovers Simon's secret. So he then confronts Simon, and he basically tells him, if you don't help me get a date with your friend Abby, I'm going to tell the entire school your secret. And Simon is at a real dilemma because he doesn't know what he should do, and he doesn't know if his secret is worth keeping and risking his friendship with Abby. And if you want to know how he deals with that, you'll have to pick up this book. The next one I want to talk about is Truly Devious. It is the unsolvable crime of 80 years, and this book is by Maureen. This has two different timelines that switch back and forth. We have a 1936 timeline and we have the current day timeline. And in 1936, our main character is Albertalli. Now, Albertalli was a very wealthy businessman, and he decided that he wanted to open a private school for gifted students, but he didn't want to eliminate those students who couldn't necessarily pay for a private school. So he makes it open to those students as well, and he just wants them to pursue their passion. Unfortunately, soon after the school opens, his family is abducted, and we soon learn that his wife Iris has been murdered and his daughter Alice is still missing. And then we flip 80 years into the future, and the crime has still not been solved, and we meet Stevie Bell. Now, Stevie is a loner. She's kind of an outcast at her school, and she has extreme anxiety issues. And the way that she copes with those anxiety issues is she studies true crime and criminology. And she has fixated on the Ellingham case. She has read all the novels, all of the interview transcripts, and watched all the documentaries on the case. And she believes that if she could just get accepted into this school, that she'd be able to crack the case. Well, Stevie does get accepted into the school, and as soon as she gets there, she starts making friends, and that's really kind of a foreign concept to her. And as soon as she starts making these friends, strange things start happening, and Stevie even begins to question her sanity. Well, then something tragic happens, and Stevie's left wondering what's going to happen next. Is she going to be sent home? Is the school going to close? But if you want to know what happens, you'll have to pick it up. So this is the first in a series. The final two are out and available if you would like them. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is Carry On by Rowell. So imagine if Harry Potter was in love with Draco Malfoy. That's kind of the dynamic that we have going here. And we have two main characters, and this is again a book that switches perspectives. We have Simon and Baz. Now, Simon and Baz have been roommates at Watford for the last 7 years. And Simon is the chosen one. And he is one of those people who had no idea about magic until he was plucked from his normal everyday life and invited to attend Watford School of Magic. Well, every year previous to this year, Simon has encountered a beast called the insidious humdrum. And up until this point, he's been able to defeat the insidious humdrum on his own or with the help of his friend Penelope. Unfortunately, in the last school year, the violence that the insidious humdrum has been perpetrating on the school and other people has escalated. And he's actually sucking the magic from the land and absorbing it, and nobody can stop him. He's considered undefeatable. So Simon turns to his nemesis Baz, and Baz is kind of a standoffish, posh character who's too good for Simon, and they're just acquaintances because they're roommates, and it's rumored that Baz is even a vampire. Well, Simon has to turn to him because if he wants to save the magical world, not only for himself, but for everyone he loves, he's going to have to team up with him and defeat the Insidious Humdrum. And if you want to know if he actually achieves that, you'll have to pick this one up. There is a second one called Wayward Son, and it has been released the end of last year. So that's all the time I have, but I hope you've enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you found something good to read. And if you didn't like the ones I talked about, maybe you'll like some of the other stuff right along.